All right, Nikki, I got the majority of the art that's been coming into the game. Everything is looking really, really good. Um, I wanted to just go over a couple of things before we get into the perk icons or badges. We need a few more buttons. Now, one thing I was thinking is I'm trying to get this all situated, and I like where the drawing events are here. It's very, very similar to Save to Kill. But the currency in this game is called Space Bucks. And that's just a little bit too big for this area. You know, if I start the drawing event of Space Bucks here, it goes all the way to here. And then if someone were to have like over 1,000,000 Space Bucks, you know, it would go into and overlap the level here. And then, you know, I don't really want to move this further down because then it gets into the artwork over here and then becomes blurred, and kind of like this spacing. So what I was thinking, you know, there's some dollar signs here, and I wanted to kind of change that and maybe do like a little icon of a picture of like some like maybe even just a dollar bill or like some kind of bills, or maybe even picture like a horizontal view of like a stack of money that's being like flipped or something. It doesn't have to be animated, but just something that signifies money, or maybe even just the dollar symbol, but in just, you know, obviously better than this font. You know, and sorry, I don't have any kind of placeholder. I just literally kind of, I've been putting this together, and I just kind of saw this, and I found out this problem right before I was about to hit the record button here. So, you know, I mean, if we were going to do like a pixel size, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, this would be like really, really small, something like 20 by 40 or something like that. But I mean, you know, the space that we're working with in here. So I mean, I feel like this could be better off with a little icon here for the to let the player know how much money they have versus using the dollar signs. I don't like. I don't think it looks good. And like I said before, using the actual lettering Space Bucks is goes all the way to here. And I want to use the version. I want to use Space Bucks as our currency because it's kind of like a little Easter egg and a little ode to a movie called Spaceballs, which is like an old slapstick comedy movie. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it's just a little fun little Easter egg that I wanted to put in there. And I have it written all over these drawing events throughout the game. So versus going back and renaming our currency, I feel like doing a little icon here for our currency would be the best bet. But anyway, after that, then we need these two buttons here. Now, this one is the perk. I wanted to call this button the perk / game options button. So, and you can see as I hover, it says check your perks and your game options. So when you come in here, I didn't want to do 3 different buttons. I didn't want to do game option buttons and a perk button. And basically when you come to here, and we're going to need art for all this stuff. This is what's next on the list. But this has all of your perks and your perk progress. You can hover over any of these perks and these perk icons that you have locked or not unlocked. If you unlocked it, see this one I've unlocked. It says movement speed. This is identical to the pause menu. And I guess that's partially the reason why I wanted to fit this all into one button, is just because the way it works in game, you know, obviously I didn't want to switch to another scene in game. I wanted to switch between this and then the game options. Like that. The control, this is going to be where the game options are. This is going to be where all your control options are, and then I'm going to have sound options here and what other options that, you know, come up. So that's why I'm calling this button perk / game options. So I don't really know the greatest way to convey that to the player. I mean, I'm okay if we use the same text or font and just literally say that. We can say game options. I made them a little bit taller here than it originally was, so we could do like 2 layers if you want to do game options, and then on the bottom do perks, or perks and game options. One thing that's beautiful about, you know, doing PC games and web games is that having the mouse hover. Mouse hover is just such a godsend because you can relay other information in drawing events. So, you know, however you want to do it. I don't think symbols would really work. I think literally just saying perks / game options would be better. And now this one, and the size for these 2 buttons are 130 by 45, and they'll fit in here really nicely. Now this one is, I was going to call this button just promo. Basically what this button is a button to our other games. And I want to do this, and as we do more and more games, I want to do some things, and I'm going to give players a little bit of a currency boost. Like every single time if they click on these, they're going to be able to hover over here and read up a little bit about each one of the games that I and you have made. I can kind of make it a more personal experience, to kind of let the player know. I mean, hey, this is made by, 1, 2 guys. These games aren't made by teams of people. I think that people would really appreciate, being able to kind of read the story and be able to follow our game development. Not only that, these clicks obviously will lead to more views and be able to cross promote. And then we got our Android button in here for the save to kill to hopefully boost mobile downloads. But anyway, so what we need is, I was thinking about just calling it a promo button. And then when they hover over it, hopefully they'll be able to say, they'll be able to see, going back to it being beautiful, that web-based games have the hover option with a mouse, versus a mobile version where you'd have to like really make the button clear on what exactly is. They can just say, oh, it's promo, and then they hover over and they come and check out some other games I made and learn more about me. And then I'm going to do a little bit more in this section and say, earn some space bucks. So, every single time they click, I think I'm going to make them pretty good. I'm going to make it so it's only clickable. Only the rewards you're only going to be able to get once, but I think I'm going to give them 1,000 for each one, and I'll even tell the player in this little blurb here about how it would really help them out early in the game. So if they come here and check out the other games that Decaf Panda Games has made, they'll get a nice little boost and they'll be able to upgrade their abilities that much more. So yeah, those are the 3 next things on the work order. I mean, it would be this little small icon that represents our currency or space bucks or money. And then these 2 buttons, which are 130 by 45, one being perk/game options, and then the other one's being promo, or unless you have some kind of other idea how to convey that to the player, I think promo is, I don't want to say more games, because every single game in the world on the web has more games, and I think players are just completely and utterly sick of seeing the stupid more games button. It's everywhere online. So at least throwing promo out there, it's something different. At the very least, it'll get them to hover over it and then read up on it, and then they'll be able to see that they're going to get currency. Or maybe we even do like a little $sign on both sides, like a dollar, wherever my mouse cursor is, $sign here, the word promo, and then another $sign, just to like kind of draw their eye to it, just to make sure they know they could get some free space bucks. I don't know if I want to call it free money like we did in Save to Kill, how we just called it free gems. I don't know. I'm up for suggestions on that, but I think that just calling the button promo, I think, would work out fine. All right, man. Let me know what you think about this. And then after this, we'll get on to all of these beautiful buttons here and everything down there. And then once these are done, it's going to be like almost time to start looking at some audio. All right, man. Later.